Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I never imagined a simple dinner could unravel everything I thought I knew about us. That night began like any other. A quiet Friday, the faint hum of traffic outside, the warm smell of garlic bread drifting from the kitchen. She was radiant as always, her laughter spilling across the room. But it wasn't her laughter that would haunt me, it was what came after. We were at a friend's small dinner party, seated across from a man I barely knew. He had a confidence about him that I immediately found unsettling, but I told myself I was being paranoid. She was my wife, my partner, and I trusted her. Until I didn't. The conversation flowed, easy and light. Then she said something that froze me. You know, I really admire how well you handle yourself. It's impressive. Her eyes lingered on him, a softness I hadn't seen directed at me in months. I tried to mask my irritation with a joke, but the comment struck me like a quiet explosion. I looked to her, half expecting a wink, a smile, something that said I was joking. But she didn't even glance at me. And he smiled. That easy, knowing smile that said this is working. All night I felt invisible. Words she directed at him would have been for me, I realized too late. Compliments I used to receive, gestures once shared between us, were now measured and aimed somewhere else. And yet I said nothing. I don't know why. Maybe I was in shock. Maybe I was terrified of what speaking up might reveal. The next few days were worse. I noticed subtle changes. She would step out to take calls, she wouldn't answer when I walked into the room. Phone face down on the counter, fingers brushing it nervously. Messages would disappear from the screen too quickly, or she'd chuckle at texts I couldn't see. I caught myself making excuses in my head. She's just tired, she's stressed, it's nothing. But the gnawing feeling in my chest told me otherwise. I tried to rationalize it, replaying that dinner over and over. Could I have misread her tone? Was I overreacting? But deep down I already knew. I could feel it in the way she smiled at me sometimes, the delayed warmth, almost as if she were remembering someone else. It wasn't until I found the messages that the quiet suspicion became a jagged truth. Hidden behind her carefully locked phone, conversations with him spilled out. Late-night texts, flirty emojis, a casual familiarity that made my stomach twist. She spoke to him the way she used to speak to me when we were falling in love. And I realized with gut-wrenching clarity that the distance I'd felt that night at dinner had been there all along. Confronting her was unbearable. I didn't yell. I didn't throw things. I just sat down trembling and asked the question I had feared. Is there someone else? She hesitated. Her eyes flicked away, the first sign of shame I'd seen in months. Then came the confession, hesitant, reluctant, like tasting poison. She admitted the emotional affair. No dramatic showdown, no screaming. Just a quiet unraveling. I remember the weight of silence after that, the way it pressed down on me like a physical thing. I thought of every touch, every whispered "I love you," every laugh we'd shared that now felt like a lie. My mind raced through memories, each one stinging with betrayal. How had I missed it? Why hadn't I seen it sooner? In the weeks that followed, I grappled with a mixture of love and hurt, anger and sorrow. I thought about forgiveness, about walking away, about trying to salvage what we had. But there's a line. A quiet line you can't cross without losing yourself. I realized that even if I stayed, trust, that fragile thread holding us together, was gone. So I left. Not with a scream, not with a dramatic exit, but quietly. Packed my things, kissed her cheek, and stepped out into the cold air of early morning. The betrayal didn't end with the door shutting behind me. It lingered in my chest, but so did a strange, freeing clarity. I had chosen myself. I had reclaimed my dignity, my self-respect, even if it meant heartbreak. I still think of her sometimes and the man at dinner. Not with anger, but with a deep, aching sadness. Life has a way of teaching lessons you never want to learn, and betrayal is one of its cruelest. But I survived it. And in that survival I found something I thought I'd lost forever. The quiet strength to believe in myself again.